Hi, this is Diane Love to Bake, and what we're going to make are mint dark chocolate cookies. And it's relatively a very easy recipe because those are the ones that I like to make, but they don't take a lot of time. We're going to get started, and what we are going to begin with is our butter. And we need 5 tablespoons of butter. That's about 1/3 of a cup. And I've cut it up into little pieces. And then we're going to just start to cream it and break it up. Now you certainly can use, again, your hand mixer for this if you don't want to use your stand mixer, as I am. Okay, once you break that up, you're going to need 2 ounces of unsweetened baking chocolate. Now you can buy it and you break it into pieces and then melt it in a bowl in the microwave, or it's also sold in liquid packets, but I actually find this cheaper to make it this way. I use 6 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa, baking cocoa, okay, and 2 tablespoons of oil. Use whatever type of oil that you want, and that's equivalent to 2 ounces of the unsweetened baking chocolate that you buy in the store. So it's up to you how you want to make it, whether you want to do it as I just showed you, or just buy a package of the unsweetened solid chocolate. So then what we're going to do is we're just going to beat that together with the butter. And that shouldn't take you but a few minutes. Okay, and I'll just give you a little look at what that looks like. Okay. All right. The next thing that you're going to be putting in is 1½ cups of powdered sugar, confectionery sugar. And we're going to put a little in at a time and just beat that in. These cookies bake up extremely light, tall, and very delicate. They have a really great taste to them, but they are so light and as I said, delicate. They really come out to be pretty cookies. All right, once that you have combined that, it'll actually start to almost form like a cookie ball on you. Okay, and now we're going to put 1 egg, and I've had it at room temperature, so I'm going to beat that in. I'm going to raise my speed a little bit here. Again, just beat that till you know it's all combined and it's quite smooth and fluffy looking. And that shouldn't take you too long. Okay. The next thing now is flour. So you're going to need 1¼ cups of all-purpose flour. You're also going to be putting in a ½ teaspoon of baking soda. And you're going to be putting in a ¼ teaspoon of salt, okay? And I'm just going to grab a spoon here and just stir that together into the flour, and then start putting the flour and the dry mixture together. And we'll do that at low speed, just a little at a time. We'll put the rest of that in now. Okay. And then I'm going to raise my speed to bring it all together. Okay. The last thing that you're going to be putting in, of course, is your morsels. And what I have is 1 cup of dark chocolate and mint morsels in this. And that's 1 cup. Now you can just stir these in by hand. I'm going to use the paddle on my mixer, but I'm not going to do it for too long because I don't want to break the morsels up. And And now I'll take my paddle off and the excess off the cookie dough. Now, this is the easiest recipe to make, and it becomes even a little bit easier if you take this and put it in your refrigerator for about 15 minutes. And the reason is that you're going to be rolling 1-inch balls out of it. And it is easier if the cookie dough is cold. But due to the video, I'm going to, begin right now and not put it in my fridge. So it will form a cookie ball or dough like this, I should say, okay? And like I said, if you don't want to wait the 15 minutes and chill it in your fridge, you can go ahead. It's just that the dough is, softer. It tends to stick to your fingers a little bit. Then just take a 1-inch ball, a little bit smaller than a golf ball. Now you'll need a cookie sheet or a cookie pan. You don't have to spray it. It's ungreased. Use your parchment paper if you prefer. And I would suggest to put them, that 1-inch ball, at least an inch apart from the other one. Now, I usually get about 35 cookies out of this recipe. And as I said, just roll a 1-inch ball in your hands and then place them about 1 inch apart on your cookie tray. Now, you're going to be baking these at 350 degrees, and they're going to take anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes. They're going to come up very quickly, so do check on them. When they bake, though, they might look to you like they're uncooked. If you leave them in longer, they will burn on the bottom, and then they're going to be a different texture of a cookie. So I like to start watching mine about 6 minutes or so, that type of thing. But again, they will puff up and they will look like they're not cooked or baked properly, I should say, but they are. So they do come up very quick in the oven. Now I'm going to rinse my hands real quickly because I'd like to show you what they look like once they are baked up. And this is what they will look like when they turn out. They are very tall cookies. They have a nice brown top to them. You can see the dark chocolate and the mint morsels in them, and a real beautiful brown on the bottom. And then when you break them open, they're extremely moist and they just melt in your mouth. And I don't know if you can actually see how they're just delicately breaking up. They're not a real dense, heavy cookie. They're very moist, very chewy, but they are absolutely delicious cookies with a cup of tea or coffee or that type of thing. And they are really, they just smell so good when you're baking them. Your kitchen, you'll smell that dark chocolate and that mint. Well, there you have it. If you try this recipe and you like it, well, leave a comment because I always like to hear from you. And as always, I want to thank you for watching Diane Love to Bake, and please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon.